Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Family Bathroom. Joining us tonight is the usual host. We have Mr. Crazy Still, Mrs. or Miss, sorry, Casey Frosty. Who knows? And also joining us tonight is Rachel. Rachel, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you, Brody.
That's awesome. We have a great, awesome packed show for you guys tonight. If you read the title below, we will be discussing everything dream related, personal dream stories, fun dream stories. Do we think dreams can tell us anything about our lives? Are we able to manipulate our dreams? Lucid dreaming, nightmares, sleep paralysis, and we're also going to be discussing astrology and horoscopes as well. So a very um, interesting intellectual can't talk show tonight for you guys. um, but obviously this past week was just Thanksgiving and the Black Friday holiday shopping spree. Did anyone get anything interesting, any good deals out there?
I spent way too much money at the outlets. Way too much money.
Do you care to describe any purchases you made?
So I bought a jean jacket that was 50% off. And then I went to Zoomies and they had like nothing on sale. But I bought two t-shirts, I bought a sweatshirt, a jacket, and a bracelet, and then a sticker.
Okay. As long as you enjoy the stuff, even if it's 50% of more money you would have spent, that's, as long as you enjoy it, it's all that matters. Anyone else have any good purchases? Anything?
I bought a pair of shoes, which I haven't bought shoes from like an actual store in like 2 years. And they were only $19 because they were 65% off. So that's fun.
Ooh, nice, nice. Casey, any good purchases? Any holiday shopping you did for any loved ones or family members, anything like that?
Nope. I didn't buy anything.
It's okay. You're in the same boat as me. I am a cheapskate and I save my money because I spent way too much on streaming stuff. So cool. But overall, did everyone have a Thanksgiving that was, safe and good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked.
Okay, well, 3 out of 4 had a good one, and hopefully, Josh had a good one at work too. Hopefully, it wasn't too busy, and I hope everyone at home had a safe and good Thanksgiving as well. If you guys made any cool, good purchases, if you're able to cop a PS5 or something, please let us know. In the comments or in chat. I'd love to know if anyone was able to snatch one away before scalpers buy them all up. Um, all right, guys. So dreams. We can just get right into it here. Um, is anyone, first off, how often do you guys dream? Is it something you dream every night? Or is it like a rare occurrence type thing? Josh, what say you?
I definitely don't dream every night. It is one of those things where it's once in a blue moon. Um I as a kid, I used to dream all the time. It's just when I got older, I just stopped. Like I don't have dreams that often.
Right. I'm in a similar boat as you. I know I dream every night, but we'll get into like dream journals and stuff. Unless I like focus on it and write it down when I wake up, like 30 minutes later, I couldn't tell you what I dreamed about, even though I knew I dreamed about something. Our guest here tonight, we picked her specifically for this topic because she has some wild dream stories and stuff. So I know your answer to this, Rachel, is you dream all the time. But
Yeah.
how's that for you?
It can honestly be kind of exhausting sometimes. Like most of the time I have multiple dreams in the night. And sometimes they bleed together or they get like very vivid and scary. So I end up not sleeping too much. But it's an interesting time because sometimes it feels like, especially during lockdown and everything, it was like, even though I wasn't doing anything in real life, I had a lot of interesting stuff going on in my dreams, you know?
We'll get into some good dream stories and the intricacies of dreams in a moment. But to finish this off, Casey, how often do you dream?
I'm the exact same as Rachel. I dream every single night. Also have multiple dreams a night. Usually, there are some nights that I go without a dream. But I usually remember them. Also, like I really don't even have to write them down. Sometimes I will, but like I just they're so vivid that I like literally just can't forget them.
Alrighty. So before we jump into some interesting and cool dream stories, just going to give a quick notice to everyone out there. We are experiencing great technical difficulties all across the board here. So if there's a little lag and camera delay, if we have to, reset a camera, if anyone's audio goes out or has to leave real quick, bear with us. I'm going to do my best to make it seamless and unnoticeable, but hey, we're live and anything happens. It's a family bathroom, for God's sake. So, we accept it and move on. Also, quick shout outs to our merch stores. The links will be popping up in the chat here tonight. It is streamlabs.com/broku_/merch, as well as streamlabs.com/crazystill, with ones being for the L/merch. You can get cool shirts like this. It is very comfy. I am not just lying. I wouldn't wear something if it's not comfy. For instance, as well. I'm not gonna wear these because you can't see it, but we got cool athletic shorts as well. So if you're gonna need some good Christmas gifts still, feel free to check out the merch stores. We have clothes, notebooks, pillows. You can actually see a pillow on Crazy Still's bed back there. It came from the store as well. So yeah, merch, get it while it's hot. Other shout outs will be, later on in the show. So I don't think our stories are going to be able to compare to any of Rachel's awesome dream stories. So I feel like if she goes first here, she's going to overshadow ours. So um, let's get our stories out of the way if we have any, and then we'll get into the juicy ones with Rachel. Casey, do you have any memorable or specific dreams that you want to discuss that are like wild?
I have a ton of really crazy dreams. I do have one dream that I wanted to share because Brody and Rachel were both in it.
Mm.
Um, so one time I had a dream that I went to work, and like if you don't know, all of us work together. Um, Brody and Rachel are two of my managers. And in my dream, I like for some reason I kept having to trespass onto the property at nighttime. Like I don't know why, it just kept having to happen every night. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to get caught. I'm going to get caught." And then I went there one night and all of the managers were there and you guys were yelling at me and being really mean. And then I was trying to apologize and be like, "You don't understand. Like I can't help it. It just I keep ending up here." Because it was like I didn't want to go there. I just kept ending up there. And like I couldn't explain myself properly because I didn't know how to explain it. And you guys just weren't listening. You guys were like yelling at me and cussing me out. And I was like, "Please, no, don't fire me." And then I woke up and I thought I was fired. And I was like, dang, like I need a new job. This is so embarrassing. And then I remembered that I wasn't fired. Um, and I think I told you, Brody, about that dream, like when
You
I
told
came into
me
work.
to.
Yeah, it was like a really intense dream for me.
So,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
one of
that kind of
them.
like brings up an interesting part of dreams because I feel like um, I'm going to ask you all a quick question before we move on. Has everyone here had like work related dreams before? Whether
Yes.
it's, it could be at our current place of work or another place of work.
Yes.
Josh is a no. Okay. I have as well.
Mm-mm.
So, it's an interesting study of dreams and stuff. Josh, do you have any interesting, quick, crazy dream stories or anything you want to share?
Um, I had a dream when I was younger. I had a dream that I would walk outside butt naked, and I was terrified. I was so embarrassed. It was just like the most humiliating thing in the world. And then when I'd wake up, I would be like, I have all my clothes on, and so I'd just be really confused. And there was one dream that always has stood out to me. Um, it was my brother was a serial killer, and all of my friends were like different first responders, like medics, fire department, and all of that. And so we tried to get my brother in jail, and he would just kill all of my friends until it was like the last, only me, and then I would wake up.
Oh my gosh.
It's a very traumatic dream. Would you classify that? Would you experience it as like a nightmare, or is that just like a normal dream?
That's a nightmare.
Okay. I feel like nightmares are more memorable than regular dreams because of how like traumatic they generally feel and like the shock of waking up and stuff. I feel like for me personally, that I remember my nightmares more than I do like any other dream. Um, I guess some fun dreams if I can share. My favorite dreams I always have are things I've never experienced in real life, but I'm dreaming I'm doing it. So, for instance, skydiving. Um, I dreamt before like I was skydiving without a parachute, and I had no guide. I was just like flying in the air eventually, and how it ends is before I hit the ground, I wake up. But like all those type of like dreams, like an experience I never experienced in real life, and how like your mind imagines it in your dream world, I always find really fascinating. So whether it's um going in the ocean underwater, like in a submarine or something, or skydiving, or if I'm out in space. Um, my favorite dream, I'll say real quick before I pass it on to Rachel, was a lucid dream where I became almost like I had this ring, kind of like a Green Lantern type thing. If you guys know who Green Lantern is, it's kind of like a superhero thing, and I became like a superhero, and I was like fully aware, like, oh my god, this is so freaking cool. I'm a superhero in my dream, and I was like doing superhero things. I was beating up baddies and stuff and protecting people. It was great. It's probably like my favorite dreams, or like dreams that like experiences I haven't experienced in the real world. Rachel, do you have any quick, interesting stories you want to tell?
I guess some quick ones. Like I said, I have a lot of dreams, so it's kind of hard to choose from. But probably the quickest dreams that I have a lot of like water dreams. A lot of dreams where I'm swimming or drowning, but we'll save those for later. I have a lot of like I'd say my most peaceful dreams. I have had a recurring dream where I'm just like swimming through a stream and there's like flowers all around me and it's a fun time. But yeah, I have a lot of very in-depth and detailed dreams that can be pretty scary too. So we'll get to those in a
Oh,
bit.
I'm sure we will. So does anyone here keep a dream journal, or do they like write down anything about their dreams, or is it just pretty much you wake up and continue on with your life?
Um, I've tried to in the past, but I find that it's just too time consuming. Um, so I tend to not do it.
Casey or Josh, you guys keep a dream journal or anything?
Um, I don't. Sometimes, like, a lot of times if I wake up in the middle of the night from a really vivid dream, because sometimes if you wake up and then go back to sleep, you might forget. And so if I don't want to forget it, like I'll type it in my notes real quick and I'll read it in the morning and I'll remember exactly, but the actual like note that I typed is like all over the place. It'll be like llama roller coaster in the cloud salami and it like makes no sense. So like I don't really keep a dream journal because I also feel like that makes it I don't know, it feels like a task to me. Like I want to like have my dreams and enjoy them and feel them. I don't want to be like, "Oh, I have to write this down." But I feel like that could be nice for some people. I just it would take away to me.
Josh, do you ever write anything down about your dreams?
Not at all. I don't really care. I just go along with it.
So I guess since most of us, I don't either. Would any of you ever like consider it, or like if you're trying to like learn more about your dreams or anything, and maybe discover a pattern? Is that something you guys would ever really put thought into trying, or is it just more like meh, whatever, too much effort?
Yeah, I definitely at least try to get down the main ideas of my dreams to see a pattern. I think dream analysis is really interesting.
What Does any of you guys know what like the profession is of like dream study? Is that like a job? I know it has to be a job, but like where you just study people sleeping and stuff. And I know like sleep habits, but like actual dream study, is that a thing?
Just be a sleep pathologist?
If anyone knows in the chat if like the study of dreams or like any dream related jobs out there, let me know. So I can look that up after this stream because it's honestly dreams are I think really inexplainable type phenomenons that like the human has, and I find them fascinating in that sense because I don't think there's much information about them out there, and what we can actually learn from them because I am hopefully we can actually learn a lot, and we'll discuss that in a little bit. Um, so I kind of shared an experience of lucid dreaming. Have any of you guys ever been able to lucid dream before? First off, do you guys all know what lucid dreaming is? Okay, Josh. So lucid dreaming is essentially you're dreaming, but your like conscious is semi and becomes like aware, like you're in a dream state, and you can kind of like manipulate the dream around you.
So would like if I'm about to go pee in a urinal and I feel the warmth, like me trying to pee in real life, and I'm like, no, that's a dream. I can't pee. So then I walk away from the urinal. Is that a lucid dream?
Kinda.
Because if so, then yeah, because I really had to go pee in real life. So my dream was like, all right, here we go. We got to go pee. So we're going to go to the urinal. And it was trying to make me pee in my bed. And I was like, no, I don't want to pee in my bed.
I don't know how best to describe it. Like for instance, like in most normal dreams, like some laws of physics still apply. So like let's say you're falling off a cliff. I don't know if you know it's like a common like people fall off a cliff dreams. Let's say you're falling off a cliff, naturally you would just keep falling, but like if you have like the consciousness to like stop and just like start flying, like I'm not gonna fall anymore, and then like start flying or like anything like that, or you're self-consciously like aware of like what's happening and you're able to like change and stop it from
I don't,
happening.
I don't think I've ever had anything like that. I feel like the closest thing would be me trying to go pee in real life, and it just happens in my dream, and I'm like, I can't do that. So then I stop. But I've never really been able to control a dream. It's kind of just natural for me.
Right. So some people from the chat are mentioning there's not necessarily jobs for it or like dream study. It's mainly just, neuropathologists or, neuroscientists and that kind of stuff. Which I mean, I don't even know how you, again, dream study is such like a weird thing. And how would you ever like get good at it? I don't know. Casey, you ever have any lucid dreams?
Yeah, I actually have those a lot. Where I get stuck in my dreams. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of lagging a bit. Hold on. Pass it to someone else.
Rachel, I know you've had experience of lucid dreams.
Yes. Typically they aren't very long once I do like realize I'm lucid. Um, so lots of times I'll have dreams like near the end of my dream
Mhm.
and I'll be like, "Oh crap, this is a dream." And then I start like trying to do stuff. And then that's when my body's like, "No, you can't know you're dreaming." And then I wake up. So it's kind of sad. But
Yeah, I feel that's, a struggle with lucid dreaming is I think generally once you become self-aware of your dream, you like wake up pretty soon after that. Like you can't control it anymore. That's why it's like such a hard thing to do and it's such an anomaly for people to do. But praise out there for the people who can like constantly lucid dream. That must be like the funnest thing ever. And I wish I could do it, but it's once in a blue moon, essentially. Casey, are you back? You better?
Um, um, I don't know. It's not looking like it.
Just roll with it. Just roll with it.
Got a good story?
Okay, just don't look at my video if yeah. But basically, like I have dreams a lot where the dream will take place and then towards the end of it, I'll like realize that I'm in a dream and I guess it's kind of more like sleep paralysis. Because I would be like, I want to wake up now, I want to wake up now, and I can't wake up.
Mhm.
and then like something really sudden has to happen, and then I'll finally wake up. But
Right.
like I'll be totally aware that I'm in the dream. It's just like everything is still happening around me.
So,
Or
it's
oh,
go ahead.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, as you probably have figured out, I don't know much about dreams, but I always think, like, do you know how like you'll never die in a dream? Like no
I've
matter
died in a dream.
See, I could never I never have died in a dream, and I've always thought like I know like I've seen movies where people are falling from a cliff. I've seen movies of people getting shot and like bleeding out, and it obviously hurts. But no, you like I don't know what comes after death. So I've always thought like it's always stopped right before I died because I didn't know what was after death. So like I feel like I've always just cut it off because my mind didn't know what was gonna happen.
Well,
Does anyone else feel like that?
I feel like a popular opinion out there, whether it's true or not, is people wake up right before they die in a dream. Because if they actually die in their dream, it's said they'd actually just die, like their heart and stuff, and whatever part of their body would just stop functioning. And obviously,
Hmm.
they might be able to like revive themselves and stuff, or like they can be revived, or like their heart might stop for like a second. Doesn't necessarily mean they die. That's like a common thing, or theories of like if you actually like die in your dream, because again, no one knows what death is afterwards, and if you actually physically do die in your dream, then your body may like shut down, whether it's permanently or for a second, a half second, or whatever. But Rachel, yeah, you've said you've experienced death in a dream. um how is that for you? What's it like on the other side?
So I find it interesting because when I did die in a dream, it was like I went to a third person like view from the outside. So I've died twice in my dreams. Once the first time I was shot in the chest. And the explosion of the gun was so loud in my head that it woke me up. Fun fact, I was dreaming that I was working at Food Lion and a robber came in and killed me. But that's the one that I was still dreaming after I died. I was going on an evening run and there was a guy who was following me and I kept on telling him like, "Dude, get in front of me, like stop following me. You're giving me like bad vibes, you know?" Um, so eventually he did get in front of me, but then he stopped and so I sprinted past him and then he grabbed me and stabbed me to death. And while this was happening, I was on my phone trying to call 911. Um, and then after he had stabbed me to death, the phone, like, I could still hear the 911 operator on the other side. And this is when it switched to like the third person looking down on everything. And the only thing that happened after that was the murderer picked up the phone, hung it up, and then walked away. And then I woke up.
Wow. It kind of, it kind of calls back to my story before, but like pain and dreams is also like one of those things. Like, I mean, unless you actually do get shot or stabbed, but it's like a common thing in dreams, whether it's burning, drowning, impalement, stabbings, gunshots. It's always like interesting to ask people like, how's that go for them in their dreams? Because again, it's not a common thing. People get shot or anything, but like you get shot in your dreams. Do you like actually? Do you think in your dreams your body relates to the pain as you would in real life, or is it more of like not as bad?
Okay. Um, First of all, it kind of depends on the situation. I know some people who, when they have sleep paralysis, it's very, very painful for them. Um, I know for me personally, when I was shot and stabbed, I didn't really feel much except for pressure, if that makes sense. But I think if you've been injured in that way before, then you feel that pain. So I've had dreams in the past where like I was grabbed and like twisted, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that pain and I felt it even after I woke up. Um, so I think that if you've felt it before, then it can translate into your dreams.
Josh, what do you feel when you like get stabbed or shot, or you ever like drowned or
Um,
anything?
I've had a dream when I was a little kid that my arm got like ripped off, just like a Barbie doll. Like you just popped the arm off, and I was just like, well. And I remember waking up, and like it was almost like a Charlie horse, but it was like asleep at the same time. Like I felt like this one pain on my shoulder. It felt just like a Charlie horse, and then the rest of my arm was asleep. I guess I was sleeping on it weird. And in my dream, it translated to me getting my arm fully amputated. And then like I just remember looking in my dream, I was like, I don't have an arm anymore. And so like when I wake up, I couldn't really feel it. So I was like, no way that that actually happened. I felt it and it was there, and I was really happy. But I definitely feel like that is the actual thing. Like kind of like what she said, where if someone like say they got shot in the foot and they get shot in the foot in their dream, you can definitely feel like the pain that they felt in real life.
Um, Casey, how have you experienced pain in your dreams?
Um, I don't know. I don't really feel pain when I dream.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know.
No, I feel similar in a sense. Even when nightmares and stuff, if I'm getting stabbed or sliced or anything, I definitely, paper cut in real life always hurt more than anything I've experienced getting stabbed in a dream. So I never like experienced, I think, the real pain, whether, drowning or on fire or anything like that. That's, one of the worst ways to go, they always say, is burned alive or drowning. So I can only imagine the pain. And, it's kind of not a common thing, but in nightmares, it's probably up there in one of the ways your nightmares can go. And I doubt people are experiencing the similar pain in their dreams. This kind of leads into sleep paralysis, nightmares, and stuff like that. Um, so sleep paralysis, Rachel, do you want to like kind of like describe what that is, and have you ever experienced sleep paralysis?
Yeah, so basically, sleep paralysis is when most of the time people do become conscious that they are dreaming, but they can't express that. Oftentimes, they see themselves in their own room still, but you're completely paralyzed. You can't speak, you can't scream, and it can be painful for some people. And I actually recently have experienced sleep paralysis just like a week ago. So here's a fun story for you guys. I typically experience my sleep paralysis when I take naps. So I was taking a nap, and at the end of my dream, I became like aware of my surroundings, and my eyes were still closed, but I could see my room exactly how it was, and I could see my body and everything. And then I started hearing a chainsaw outside, which I think is interesting because I think my neighbor, he was actually using a leaf blower. So I think my conscious just pulled that into my dream. Um, but then I started hearing in my ears a man's voice through a walkie-talkie, saying that like we need backup, we need backup, we gotta get him. And in my head, I was the guy that they were trying to kill, obviously. And so then the chainsaw progressively got louder and closer to my window. And the voice in my ear started getting louder and louder. And then my ears started ringing. And I started trying to scream, but my brother couldn't hear me. And then my alarm woke up. I went off. So then I woke up. But yeah,
It's
so
just a little traumatizing.
What?
Um,
just a tad.
so a common, or I guess who there's not really any defense against dreams, but one would say dream catchers, are supposed to get rid of the bad vibes, and help prevent nightmares and stuff. Do any of you guys ever use one?
I got one right here.
There's one. I don't know how well my camera's pretty bad, but I have one right hanging up right there.
I had one
So,
when I was a kid, but I don't have one anymore.
okay, I've never had one, but it seems like Rachel, since you've had one, it doesn't seem like it's helping. Josh, how
Really,
often do you say you get nightmares? And do you think that thing does anything?
Like I said, I'm not much of a dreamer. I haven't had a nightmare for as long as I can remember. I don't remember my last nightmare. Um, I that's just how often I dream. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember my last dream. And some people say that they dream, like everybody dreams every day. It's just a matter if you remember it or not.
Hmm.
And that may be true. It's just I never remember it. I don't know of myself dreaming. If I dream every night, then I'm very good at hiding it from myself.
you
Um, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say you bring up a good point. There are a lot of people who believe as well, that if you do remember your dreams, that it means you didn't get a good night's sleep because you shouldn't be able to remember your dreams. And really, dreams is any brain activity while you're sleeping, and that
Mhm.
could even be you just impacting information, so that you remember it that you learned throughout the day.
Yeah, and there's definitely times where I I think I told somebody where I'll go out of my way and just concentrate on one thing to try to dream something. It's just I don't remember it or I don't dream. Like I just it never helps. It never makes me think I'm dreaming. It doesn't do anything. I just don't. And maybe it's because I'm getting a good night's sleep.
Um, do you guys have any like set of circumstances that will increase the likelihood of you having a nightmare? For instance, for me, I feel like whenever it's really cold out and I'm not like properly heated in my bed, I would wake up in the middle of the night like sweating. Anytime I sweat, I'm probably having a nightmare. For instance, let's just say I have the fan on high, my bed, let's say I have a heated blanket on, and the temperature difference is so like very like it's cold in my room, but it's like hot underneath my covers. Um, and I have a nightmare and I wake up and of course like I'm sweating. Do you guys have any like anything like that where if these set of circumstances happen or like whenever you wake up from a nightmare it's generally the cause of something like a temperature change or anything like that?
I don't think so. Nothing noticeable for me.
As a kid, oh, you go, you go,
You
you
go
go.
ahead. You go ahead.
All right. As a kid, I would notice whenever I would like experience something scary, like say I went and watched a scary movie, um, then I would be like terrified of it. Then I would have a bad dream or a nightmare. I call them bad dreams. That's just what I've always called them all my life. But I've other than that, no. It's just like if something scary happens, like I watch a scary movie, then yeah, I'll get a nightmare. But not other than that, not really.
um what about reoccurring dreams? You guys ever like find yourself dreaming something, maybe it's like the next night, maybe it's a couple days later, and it's like either the exact same scenario or it's like leading off where you left off? Casey, I saw you shaking your head. Yes. Care
Yeah.
care to share?
Um, when I was a kid, I had this recurring dream of being in this like weird convenience store with the cast of Scooby Doo. Except they were all animated in my dream. I was not. Nothing was animated except them because I don't think there was a live action Scooby Doo at that time. So like
Hmm.
in my dream they were animated. But in my dream there was this ghost and it was coming to get us, and I had this dream all the time. But we'd have to like run into this back storage room and hide from the ghost, but because it was a ghost, he could go through the wall and he would like take everyone away and knock over all the shelves, and it was really scary. And then that dream I had a few times as a kid, and recently I've been having a reoccurring dream, but I stopped having it. But I kept having reoccurring dreams. This is kind of like weird, but I was having dreams where it would be like So you guys know I have a boyfriend, and in my dreams that I was having, it would like at the start of the dream, I will have cheated on him, but like I'm not dreaming like of me cheating on him. It would just be like,
After the
oh,
fact.
this happened, but I didn't mean to, but I don't know what to do now. So then like the whole dream would be just like really stressful and like me freaking out about it. And I had that like a few nights in a row, and I like did a bunch of research and like kind of like explained it to him. And like I guess after like just learning about it and understanding the dream, then I guess that just made me stop worrying about it, and now I haven't had the dream since.
This goes into like what can we learn from our dreams, but is it something in real life do you feel like you're guilty of, or like anything like you're hiding? I'm not this is I'm not accusing you of cheating in
Oh my
real life,
god.
but it could
No.
be like generally there's theories out there is like your conscious is like guilty of something, um
Yeah.
and
And
it
like
correlates to your dream somehow.
when I looked it up, that's what it was saying, and
Hmm.
it was like it saying it didn't have to be any big thing, like it didn't have to be some huge thing I was hiding. It could be any little thing.
Hmm.
But like I really thought about it because I was trying to understand why I kept having dreams like that. And I like can't think of anything that I'm hiding because most people know pretty much everything about me that I'm friends with. And my parents, like I'm not hiding anything from them, I don't think. So I don't really know what it was. It may have just been the fact that I had the dream once and then freaked myself out about it so much, and like it just was messing with me to a point where it was like, okay, here's the dream again, here's the dream again. Like,
Could it have
Hmm.
been that you were hiding your nose piercing? Like, I know you already told them, but like you were
no,
hiding your nose piercing.
well, I wasn't really hiding it. It was more like I got it and then came home. But
So you were hiding the idea of you getting it.
maybe, but
I'm
eh,
just trying to think of stuff that
I
would
think
cause that. I don't know.
I think maybe another thing too could be that in a relationship, one of the easiest ways to lose a person is if you cheat on them. So I think if you really love someone, then you don't want to lose them, and people make mistakes, and so lots of times people have dreams of them doing things that they would never do, but would have horrible consequences for them.
Hmm.
And it's possible that you just are so afraid of losing your boyfriend that your dreams are just presenting in the form of a nightmare of ways that you could lose him.
yeah, and it's just weird because I feel like I don't know, I feel like if I'm gonna have a nightmare, it would be more like I'm having a nightmare of him cheating on me or like a huge breakup. But it wasn't. It was like just like the same plot of like, oh, I cheated. Now what do I do? Do I like just like a whole freak out? This is weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me personally, I think I would be much more broken up about it if I had cheated on my significant other rather than my significant other cheating on me. And I don't
Yeah.
know if you're the same way,
No, yeah,
but
because that's not something I would ever do. So like in the dream it was like so surreal. It was like, how did that happen? Like I don't even understand.
yeah.
My nightmares go in a different direction. I typically don't have any like guilt complex dreams or anything. My most common nightmare, it's probably because I watch so many horror movies. It's always serial killer related, and it's always like if you guys watch like horror movies, and the serial killer ones or slasher movies, it's typically always some big slasher villain and a ragtag of people, and one by one they get picked off, and it's generally like since if I die, I would wake up before I die, so I'm generally one of the final people, and it's always like it ends like the person or the villain won't die. They always somehow keep resurrecting or they keep getting back up, and it's like the constant struggle, and eventually you know you're losing friends and stuff along the way, so it's like very stressful. I'm getting slashed and stabbed. It's like this person, thing, monster won't go away. Um, those are like my most common nightmares. Josh, do you have any nightmares?
Before I answer that, I have a question. Have you ever been in a dream and like just like what you explained, and you're just like, bro, just kill me already. I'm tired of all of this, so I can just wake up already. Have you ever been like conscious, and like, bro, just kill me so I can wake up, please?
I feel like that's lucid dreaming. Like you're self-aware, like you're in a dream, just like just kill me, get it over with. Like I want to wake up. So no, I've always been like feeling like I'm gonna die, and then I'm in the act of about to get killed, and then I wake up.
And then to answer your question, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Do you have any nightmare stories you want to share? Like common nightmares. Like if you have a nightmare, it's most
Um,
likely this scenario.
I remember growing up, I always had a nightmare where I would walk outside. It'd be dark. It'd be nighttime. I'd walk to my car to go get something, or I guess my parents' car, and like the car would be locked, and I'd turn around, and then there'd be the Chick-fil-A cow running at me. And so I would start like scrambling for the keys to try to put it in the car to unlock it. And he would always grab me and run away with me. And I would always wake up with him picking me up and running. But I could never, I've always had that dream. Like as a kid growing up, I would always have it. It was just always showing up. And I would know as soon as I walked out that door, I was like, shit, this is the damn Chick-fil-A cow coming after my ass.
How'd you
Now
know
that
it
I look
was
back, it's
the Chick-fil-A cow? Did it have like the eat more chicken sign on it or something? Or
mhm, and I think it was because, like, I'm allergic to chicken,
all
and
right.
so, like, I was I wasn't really necessarily scared of Chick-fil-A, but it was just like, I can't touch him. He's associated with chicken, get away from me. But he would always just come chugging up on me, and I'd be like, unlock it," and then he'd pick me up and run away with me, and I'd wake up. But I was always terrified of it. I'd always, like, jump up, like, one of
Right.
those dreams because he just got me, but and the only explanation would be because I was allergic to chicken, and I was like, I can't eat chicken, but I don't know else how to explain that.
Another interesting thing about dreams is like you bringing in people from the real world to like populate your dream. Um, is that something, Casey, that happens with your dreams, or do you just have like completely like random place hid figures, or do you like you bring your families in your dreams, you have friends in your dreams that you know in real life?
Oh yeah, I have dreams about people that I have met one time. Just like if we've ever talked, you've probably been in one of my dreams. Like or sometimes it's just completely random. It depends. But yeah, I mean, there are lots of people that are just in my dreams all the time. Like my boyfriend, he's always in my dreams, but that's cuz I spend a lot of time with him probably.
Hmm.
So, um yeah, I have just like it depends. Sometimes I'll have dreams of people that I can't even think of who they are, but I heard that you can't dream of a person you've never seen in real life. So I don't really know because sometimes in my dreams, I don't know who the person is at all. So I don't really know
Yeah.
if that's just my brain like keeping track of a face I saw one time and putting it in my dream. I don't know.
So you're right. Like your brain can't create a completely new face, but it can take parts of other people's faces that you know. So you might not be dreaming of someone who you specifically saw before, but you could be dreaming of parts of them, if that makes sense.
Whoa.
I
Uh,
had a dream about Brody and Josh the other night.
What was this about? I want to hear this one.
I'll try to tell it really quickly because it's a little bit lengthy.
Okay.
But so we were at our place of work, our lovely place of work, and it was Brody and I, and we were walking through like golf, but golf was this train roller coaster, and then Byron was hiding in the bushes, don't know why. And then we ended up going to like this island, and that island had been a reoccurring like location in my dreams. Anyways, so that's where Brody was. But then I woke up and then I went back to sleep and then we were in the like back area of our ticket booth then.
Mhm.
And then um Diana was giving Sky a haircut in the old ticket booth and I was really confused. And then I walked to the snack bar and I was trying to fill up the coolers with ice. And then Josh came in and he looks at me and he's like, Rachel, you're stinky. And I was just like, I was like, what did you say to me, Josh? And he said, you're stinky. And I was like, absolutely not. And so I took him to the back and right in front of Brody, I like suplexed you. I grabbed you by the shoulders, flipped you over,
What the fuck?
smashed you onto a chair.
That's some WWE shit right there.
And then you were like, oh, my bad. And then we carried on with everything. And then we went to outside, and then there was an animatronic T-Rex that would light up. So that's my story.
Damn.
Dang, get wrecked.
Rachel, you stinky.
Do you guys think there's lessons or anything we can learn from our dreams?
Yeah.
Sometimes. What were you gonna
Uh,
say, Casey?
yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think sometimes, but I think sometimes they're literally just out of the blue, random, like, because I don't know what I can take from the Scooby Doo dream that I had as a kid. Like, what can I take from that?
Do you
I
like
don't know.
watching Scooby Doo?
Yeah, I loved it. I watched it every morning. So,
Well, I guess this goes into the next part. Um, if there's lessons to be learned or something, do you guys think you can trick your mind before bed to, like, I want to dream about this, so I'm gonna focus on doing this, this, and this, and then a dream of that nature happens? For example, they always say don't watch horror movies before you go to bed. Because if you actually get scared and it's a really scary movie, you go to bed, most likely you're going to have a nightmare somehow pertaining to that movie you maybe just seen. If you're like really scared of scary movies or something. Rachel, do you have any like rituals or anything? Like, I want to have a dream about this, or like I want to have a good dream. So do you like do anything before you go to bed to like give you the best possibility of that happening?
So sometimes I do like try to set intentions for my dreams. Most of the time, unfortunately, it doesn't work, but that's mainly because I'm just so scatterbrained that even if I like think about it before bed, I end up going on some other tangent before I actually fall asleep. But I do find whenever I'm like binge watching a TV show, it comes up in my dreams. Like whenever I binge watch Criminal Minds, it's always in my dreams. And I've had dreams before where like I'm the murderer in my dream, which is even scarier than being murdered in my opinion. And then like recently I've been watching Shameless and like the cast of Shameless was in my dream the other night.
Interesting. Do you guys have dreams about like celebrities or like, actors, actresses, politicians, pop stars, like any like popular people? Do you guys have dreams, Josh?
One time, I had a dream that me and Jake Paul were hanging out, and I was part of Team 10, and so I became really famous. I don't know why. It was just I remember going to the Team 10 house, the old one, and hanging out with Jake Paul for the day. And we went on like a boat, we went four wheeling and all of this, and I was famous on the YouTubes.
Would you fight Jake Paul in a boxing ring?
After I saw what happened to Nate, no.
What about in a dream?
Did I fight him or would I fight
Would you
him?
fight him in a dream?
No. I
No, I
would.
would not either.
No.
Casey, do you have any memorable, you know, guest stars in your dreams?
Um, y'all remember Pete Buttigieg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who? Who's Pete Booty Juice? Who's
Don't tell
Pete
me you
Booty
have dreams
Juice?
about Pete Buttigieg.
Oh, Buddha Judge. I thought you said booty juice.
Um, wow, not only am I lagging, I'm also blurry now. Um, okay, we're just gonna keep rolling with it. So I did have a dream that he was like giving a speech and he was like turning into like an aggressive pig. Like literally like he was like spitting everywhere and he was like red in the face and like shaking and he was like getting larger and larger and larger. It was like really scary because we were all in the like audience watching this and he was, like, expanding and turning red, he was, like, literally about to explode, yeah, I don't that was it, that's all that happened in that dream. I don't know why I was dreaming about him, but
Okay, so we got Jake Paul, we got good old Pete. Rachel.
Um, Other than like when I watch TV shows, I don't usually have celebrities in my dream, but that's probably because I don't really like keep up with any celebrities or anything like that, really.
That's fair. I watch so many movies. I just have like random actors and actresses pull up, and I don't even like they're not even like a main part. It's just like I'm at the supermarket or I'm at like a restaurant, and they're just casually eating there, and I'm like, oh hey, like I know them and they know me. It's like really weird. But that's cool. Um, we're just have a few questions left in our dreams topic. Has everyone here seen Inception?
Mm-mm.
Christopher Nolan directed. It came out, God, I think over 10 years now. I am old. Starred Leonardo DiCaprio, stuff like that. So, Casey, you haven't.
No,
Rachel has.
I
no.
don't.
Josh, have you?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's been a while since I've seen it. I'm going to give a quick synopsis of the movie, best as I can remember it. But essentially, the plot of the movie is there's technology out there, and there's like hired, you can kind of think like mercenaries from the government and stuff, to like extract information from other people's dreams without them knowing. So essentially, um, I would be strapped up to like wires in a chair and stuff, and the three of you would also like get set up, linked to me, and would like enter my dream world and when I'm dreaming, to try and extract like suppressed information I have that I wouldn't necessarily like say out loud when I'm awake, if that makes sense. A very interesting movie, but I asked this simply, would you guys ever like want to go into the dream world of someone else?
Yes.
Rachel
Yeah.
said yes. Explain why.
I just I think dreams are just such a fascinating thing, and I probably would be, unless I was like an FBI agent or something in the future, um, I wouldn't have motives like they did. But I just think it's so fascinating to see like what other people are dreaming about. And I think it would also be interesting, if someone like me who always remembers my dreams, like goes into Josh's head, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because he probably does have dreams, but he just doesn't know it. Um, so I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, and a little more context. The idea is also, there's the main dream world that everyone gets put into, and they're like the architect in the movie because they're the one that can control the dream. So if Josh were to enter my dream, it's like he can't control anything, and like it's all what I'm dreaming. And essentially, I'm not sure necessarily how they related, but if you die in my dream, you could like die in real life, type sense. So there's risk to go into entering other people's dreams. But Casey, would you ever want to enter into anyone's dream?
Yeah, I think that would be super cool. That reminds me of that episode of SpongeBob. Does anyone know what I'm
Mhm.
talking about?
The bubbles, or
Um,
yep.
yeah, yeah, I think that would be really cool. Also, like, well, would the other person be aware that you're in their dream? Like, how does that?
In the movie, they're not
Okay.
necessarily like they can become aware, but like naturally being no.
Okay. Well, I think it would also be cool though if you could just like dream. I think this is possible. I've like seen some about it, but like if you could just like dream of a place with a person and they could also be a part of your dream and you guys could just like do whatever in the dream world or something, that would be really cool too.
What about you, Josh? Do you have anyone's dreams you want to enter?
It would depend on the person if I wanted to join their dream. Like, if I was over here with Rachel getting chased by some chainsaw man, getting shot by the FBI or whatever the hell was going on with that, no. But if we partying in your dream, Brody, I'd be down. Like, it just depends on which dream. Like, if I could choose the dream I'd go in, then yes. But if it was completely random, I would say no. I'm not risking it.
We have someone in the chat asking if Inception is a depiction of four-dimensional travel. Hell if I know. I'm not qualified to give an answer on that. Christopher Nolan does some wonky movies. Same with Interstellar. That whole black hole nonsense. I'm not qualified to give any answer on that. So, um, lastly, with dreams, I'm gonna go around, ask everyone, what's their favorite thing to dream about. Starting with you, Josh.
Ooh, uh, I remember I've had a dream of I was as anyone seen the Field of Dreams about
I have not.
Shoeless Joe Jackson. All right, so basically, it's a baseball movie where he ruins his cornfield to build a baseball field so Shoeless Joe Jackson could play baseball again, and a bunch of ghosts come and play. Definitely recommend it. It's one of my favorite movies. But I had a dream I was playing with Shoeless Joe Jackson and all of them, and I would say that's my favorite dream.
Rachel, do you have a favorite topic to dream about?
Um, I don't really have a lot of like pleasant dreams. You know what I'm saying? Most of my dreams, either somebody's dying or I'm dying, or like there's a deeper meaning to something, you know? And I find certain dreams that are intriguing, I guess you could say. But I think what I said earlier, I have a lot of like water dreams and natural dreams where I'm just kind of chilling. And I think those would be my favorite because I'm not, emotionally distressed.
Do you find dreaming like all that like dark stuff? Does it like ever like tax you mentally or physically?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like, I remember I there was a period of time where I'd have a nightmare like every single night for like 2 weeks straight where I would wake up and then I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. I've come into work before on like 2 hours of sleep because I had such a terrible dream that I just wouldn't let myself go back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think too, uh, I find them very interesting to analyze. Like most of the time, whenever there's like a bad guy in my dream, it's always like a middle-aged white man. It's just like, hmm, questionable. But yeah, it can be very distressing. But again, like I said, it's also interesting. And it's fun to tell people about them too, because even though I'm like in distress, lots of times I use like my distress as comedic relief for a conversation.
Okay, Casey, what is your favorite thing to dream about?
I'm kind of on the same page as Rachel. I don't have very many like skipping in a field of flowers types of dreams. Like they're pretty much all very stressful and um yeah, I don't really have a favorite topic because they're also usually not very similar. And yeah, usually I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, like that was insane. And then I can't go back to sleep for a little while. And yeah. So I don't know. I would love to get to a point where I could just have a happy dream and be like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Um, I have to ask. It's a family bathroom. It's a rated M stream. And for mature. Josh, do you ever have any um sexually explicit dreams that
Oh hell
you
yeah,
like having?
hell yeah. I like having.
Josh would.
Um,
Or it could be like romantic. It doesn't have to
I
be.
don't really. I wouldn't really say I like it. I just, if we're gonna be I just wake up with a little chub going on, and I'm like, that's nice. I like that one. Let me go back to sleep and let me start going ham on that girl again. And it's usually with this one girl. We're not gonna say any names. But definitely pleasurable. And I usually try to go back to bed to re-go into that dream.
I hope we're all on the same page of who it is. And B,
Yeah.
are you ever able to re-enter that dream? Because it's kind of one of those things, again, I feel like the romanticized or sexually explicit dreams, it's one of those things like the further things progress, your conscious, I think, starts being self-aware, and it's one of those things like for me personally, I always wake up before anything really happens, and it's always like, gosh darn it, I want to get back to sleep again right away. But I can never re-enter that dream.
I
Um,
think I have re-entered the dream maybe 2 times that I can think of. I think there's only been like 2 times where I've re-entered it, but usually it's I go to bed, it's a black screen for me, and then it's something totally off topic.
mhm.
And it's just like, darn, I was having fun.
Rachel, any naughty dreams?
Interestingly enough, there's never another subject, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Sure.
Like sometimes I'll see someone in my dream and I'm like, oh wow, they're hot. But like that's all that really goes through my head. And most of the time when I have those other dreams, there's no one there. It's I'm just chilling.
Okay, Casey. Last but not least.
No, I don't think so. Like, not that I can remember. I think the closest I would say I've gone to that is the dream where I just and like at the start of the dream I'm like, "Oh my God, I cheated on my boyfriend." But never like actually having dreams of like getting intimate with
Mhm.
anybody. Um
Um,
yeah.
we're almost wrapped up here on our first topic, guys. So if there's anything in the chat room you want us to discuss about dreams, if you have any questions or any topics you want us to talk about, feel free to shoot us a question. Um, I guess, to keep with the M theme, just because I'm trying to think of all questions to cover our bases. Um, Sexual harassment, rape, anything of that vein that's, very dark. Or you can think of like you committing murder, shooting someone, suffocating. Do you guys have any dark dreams, nightmares, or it's like either you're committing something really bad or like something insanely like horrid is happening to you? Rachel, you're pretty giddy over there. I see you. What say you?
All the time. Like
Okay, all the time.
like everything that you said, I've dreamt about. Like I was saying earlier, I've had a dream before where I walked into this freezer and there were just like a lot of just dead bodies like covered in tape, like in wrapping stuff. And I remember turning to the person next to me and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like who did this?" And they were like, "You did that." And I was like, and then I've had dreams before where I've been sexually assaulted. I've had dreams before where, I've obviously been murdered. I've had dreams before where I've been kidnapped, shot. I've had dreams before where I was drowning, and then in real life I was holding my breath, and so I would wake up literally suffocating myself and being like, and then being alive. So that's fun. But yeah, I'd say probably 90% of my dreams are very, very dark.
You go through the gauntlet over there every night. Jeez. Um, Casey, any like,
Um,
do you do any heinous crimes, or like, have you ever had like super heinous crimes done to you in your dreams?
yeah, I don't think I've really had a lot of dreams about me doing horrible things. It's normally like horrible things are happening to me. Um, like, yeah, like I've also had dreams about like being kidnapped. I've had dreams about being sexually assaulted. All kinds of stuff. I had a dream. Well, I've had this dream a couple times. This is another reoccurring dream that I forgot about. That it's kind of weird because like I'm not gonna go into like full detail, but like basically like with my ex-boyfriend, like after we broke up, I like had a lot of dreams where like his mom would be like talking to me and it would be fine, and then suddenly she would like start screaming at me and like trying to like abuse me. And just like really scary stuff like that. But yeah, I've had a lot of dark dreams. Yeah.
How do your dark dreams typically end? Like, do you just wake up, or is like, do they get
Yeah.
better in the end, or?
A lot of times I um near the end of the dream will become conscious of the fact that I'm dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly makes it worse because I can't wake up. So then it's just like I realize I'm in a dream, but everything still feels real. Like it's not just like, oh, this is happening. Like let me just wait till I wake up. It'll still feel super real.
Mm-hmm.
Um So then I just basically have to wait until I wake up. Or sometimes I just wake up suddenly. But it's never just like, oh, the thing happens and then the dream ends. It's like just more bad stuff will just keep happening, like a snowball basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, if you don't mind, I would like to add to that.
Sure.
Um, Most of the time too, I like just something random and abrupt happens and then I wake up. But you were talking about dark reoccurring dreams, and I used to have this one dream that I would describe as pretty heinous. I would always be, you know how like sometimes video games have just like flying like islands, you know what I'm saying? It
Hmm.
was like
Sure.
that, and every time I would, like, find a different way of getting to this location, but the location would always be the same, and so the one I remember the most vividly is I cross this bridge, and then there's, like, this guardian there, and he's like, "Look, like, you need to come with me, I'm gonna bring you somewhere." I'm like, "Okay." And then I follow him, and then every time he opens up this just massive door, and it's literally everyone who I've ever like loved or talked to or been friends with who is just dead in like a mass grave. And every time he gives me the ultimatum that like I can either help him or I can like jump in and try to save them. And most of the time I would jump in and try to save them, and I'd usually be able to resuscitate like two or three of them, but then as we're trying to get out, he just pushes the door shut and then it's completely black and we all die.
How do you resuscitate them?
I usually try CPR, I try
Okay.
shaking them, I try, you know.
Interesting. Your dreams are always so weird. All right. Um, so I think unless there's any dream related stuff you three want to chime in before we move on, um, we're gonna transition our episode into the second part where we talk about horoscopes, and astral projections and stuff. So again, before we do, quick shout outs. Um, Again, if you guys are enjoying the podcast, please make sure to give us a follow on the channel. We go live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have a YouTube channel, so if you're not able to stay the full 1.5, 2 hours Feel free to check us out on the Family Bathroom YouTube channel. We do post the VODs. Our first 2 episodes are up live on there now, so feel free to catch those out. And I guess that's pretty much it for that. So, horoscopes. I am by no means an expert. That's why Rachel's here. She can talk for days on them. So, overall, we'll go around. Just you get a quick answer from all of you if you guys believe in them or not. So, Josh, do you believe in them?
Well, I have a question. What is a horoscope?
Okay, so Rachel, would you like to describe what horoscopes are?
Yes. So basically, when you're born, there's a theory that all of the stars and planets align in a certain way, and that is what makes you who you are. So lots of people only know about their sun sign, which is your basic like 12 signs. It's typically like the front end of one month and the back end of another month. That is, your Taurus, your Sagittarius, your Libra, all that stuff. But really you have and it
Liberia.
really though you have an entire, they call it a natal chart. So that's where all of your stars align, and there are different houses, there are different degrees of alignment and all of that stuff too, and it's calculated by the exact time and place you were born. So it's not just your sun sign, but yes.
Um, Based off of that, that's kind of iffy. Because I've always believed like you are who you are because of your parents more so. Like as you grow up and as you get taught what is right and wrong, you always learn that, and it's more from your parents. But like I've seen like I guess some things like on Snapchat, I guess they do the thing where it's like my sun sign and my moon sign is what you were talking about, and just some of it is like very like really close to me, and it's weird, but I feel like I would have to know more about it to be 100% yes or no. I believe in this.
Casey, your stance on horoscopes.
Um, yeah, I believe in it to an extent. I don't revolve my thinking, and I don't feel like everything is explained by, your chart and like your sign and all of that. But I do believe in, some aspects of it, because a lot of it is proven to me by the people I know, and like their signs and how they interact with people and how they act. And I think my sign is very accurate to me. I'm a Sagittarius. So yeah, I believe in it to an extent. Yeah.
All right. I'm a non-believer, and this is also why Rachel is on, so she can convince me into the horoscope cult. But I'm more of the mindset whenever I read a horoscope, it could just be bad ones. I feel they're so generalistic and they cover so many bases that there's always something you can like apply it to your real self because they're so like generalized, and they do cover such a wide range. Like, of course, something has to like match, in my opinion. But Rachel's here to maybe explain it a little better and convince me, hopefully. But Rachel, do you believe in him?
Um, you might be surprised by this answer. I do think that there is possibly a lot of truth to them, and I think that there's a wide realm of things that are kind of like unexplainable in the universe. I feel like that's kind of one of them. However, I think there are a lot of horoscopes that are not true, and not real. I think that unless, you know your entire natal chart and you go to a trustable source, it's gonna be like what you said, like something that could be applied to anybody. Um, but I think nonetheless, it's an interesting theory. Also, going off what Josh said, I think it's kind of a combination of nature and nurture. So while, maybe your natal chart does predict a lot of who you're going to be as a person, you will still have those outside influences that can predict who you're going to be as well.
Okay, so I believe we all know, or at least now we all know what our signs are. We did some, research beforehand, and Rachel here is going to kind of like give us the lowdown
Stalker.
on what our horoscopes and some information about them, and we'll see with other peers here and how true, I guess, the others think they are about that person. So Rachel, you can pick whoever you want to start with.
All right, so I'm gonna start this off with I basically based all of your guys's off of your star signs,
Okay.
and then I got some information on my like entire natal chart. So we'll see how they compare. But, I think I'm gonna start with Casey because this is very interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but were you born on November 27th, 2002?
Yes.
Fantastic. So basically, you're actually on a cusp. So you're on the Sagittarius Scorpio cusp. And what a cusp is the dates that are right in between the two cutoffs for a sign. So it's possible that you could relate to both signs. Um, Another fun fact, all of us actually, so there are 4 different elements: earth, fire, air, and water that a sun sign can fit into. And Casey's a fire, Josh is an air, and then Brody is a water, and I'm an earth sign. So
Ooh, go waterbenders.
Go airbenders.
Yeah, for real. I'm on that fire gang.
but
Continue.
so based off of just your general sign, Casey, you're said to be, adventurous, a very positive person, and decently straightforward. However, sometimes you can be a little bit reckless and inconsistent, maybe making easy decisions with a lapse of judgment. Um, so I don't know how much you would identify with that.
Yeah, so I didn't actually know that I was like on the like Sagittarius Scorpio thing. I've always just like thought I was just like Sagittarius. So I'll have to like look more into that. But yeah, like most of the stuff I've read like on not like those Instagram horoscope things, like actual reputable websites and stuff like that. Everything is that describes a Sagittarius. It's like me to a T. Yeah, I so that was right. That was right for me.
Yay. Okay, so I guess we'll go with Brody next. Brody, were you born on March 11th?
Yes, but my Facebook says that too.
Yes, that is where I got the information from.
Okay, I thought this was like a horoscope thing. They got it.
Oh no, definitely not. I
Okay,
just looked
okay.
on Facebook. I'm not that creepy, I promise. Um so basically that makes you a Pisces, which we
Mhm.
talked about earlier. Um so you're generally a witty and intelligent person.
Mhm.
Um However, one of your downfalls could possibly be that you have too high of ideals for yourself and others, which leads to you being disappointed and then having a pessimistic outlook on life.
Damn, you called me out.
So I don't know how true you feel that to be.
It's pretty accurate.
Great. So next we have Josh. Josh, were you in fact born on October 3rd, 2002?
Yes.
Oh, thank you for not saying my year, by the way.
No problem. So Josh, you are a Libra.
A Liberia? Yes, I'm a Liberia.
Mm.
Actually, Brody, it's just because the year wasn't on
Yep.
Facebook, so I don't
Good.
know what year you're born.
Okay, good.
But based off of your sun sign, you are a very caring person with a defined sense of what's wrong and right. And you believe if something is wrong, it needs to be corrected. You also don't like fake people, which I mean could be applied to most people. But you specifically, you can be very detached, and when you get upset, you distance yourself from everyone. And you can also be decently controlling.
9 out of 10.
Thank you. What about you guys? So, from what I've said so far and how we know each other, how accurate do you think those would
I
be?
w- who's the most accurate out of all of that?
I would say Brody, I feel like was really accurate. I think mine was pretty accurate too, though. I think all of them were. I don't know actually. Never mind. All of them.
I mean, I can speak for myself and saying, yeah, that's, that perfectly describes me. Um, okay, so I don't know if there's a way to prove this, Rachel. I'm just, trying to debunk everything as best to my ability. So let's say, you know, we're coworkers and stuff. We talk, share stories, stuff like that. Um, ha, I don't know how to like describe it or say this. To like use what you personally know about someone and kind of like warp the horoscope around what you personally know about the person. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, of course, that with any sort of like reading, once you get into horoscopes, you could get into like intuition and like divination, which would be like your tarot card readings and
Mm-hmm.
like stuff like that. And with all of those, it kind of just comes with how another person views you. Um, Most of these, though, pretty much all of these, I just got off the internet and I just delivered them verbally in a way
It's
that might make you seem like that. But I really did not change
right, right,
them
right,
that
right.
much from what I got off the internet.
It's just creepy sometimes when you hear something just like, yep, 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 no, yep, that's definitely true. Yep. Oh, we're still saying facts here. Okay.
So one thing, so you're saying everybody on that was born on October 3rd is exactly like me. Is that what you're
No.
trying to say?
See, that's another thing about horoscopes is there's a phrase that you'll hear a lot once you start like, adventuring out into different beliefs is take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So, especially with divination, it's kind of the idea that there are a lot of things that's going to relate to you personally and some things that won't. Um, it's kind of like take it with a grain of salt. So, there's probably going to be a lot of those traits in everyone, but like we said earlier, there's still the nature and nurture. So, the way you were raised is still going to affect you.
Have any of you guys ever gotten like tarot card readings or anything like that?
My sister did one on me, but it was like when she first got it, so I don't know how accurate it was.
Yeah. What about you, Brody or Rachel?
It's something I really want to, like by an actual, at least semi-professional like person, not some a person who's like buys a deck of cards, and it's like trying to learn. But like I'll pay like good money, and I want the full like I want to go in a creepy gypsy tent. I want all like the creepy candles being lit. I want like
Let's
this
do
creepy
it.
old lady with the little bandana and like the dress and like, come here, Brody. Let me read your cards. I'm like, sign me up because I want to be like on a trip. I have played the weird, or it's not really an arcade game, but like the coin operated with the animatronic one before. Things
Yeah,
whatever. But like a full on like reading, I would love it.
I'm
Yeah,
down to do that
I
with you.
I just
too.
got you guys Brody and Josh were with me. I got like a I went to the crystal shop and I got
Hmm.
like an actual thing and I paid $20 for it. And I haven't like opened it yet cuz I want to like actually take time and like really learn about it. I got one from one of my well my boyfriend's sister and she's actually like very well educated on it. Like she knows what she's doing, and she gave me a reading on the 4th of July, and I literally like almost cried because I was like, I don't know, she just hit some like spots in the back of my mind, and I was like,
Yeah.
Do you have any other like prepared things? Like what else are we able to like know and learn from our, horoscopes and signs, Rachel?
Yeah, I have a little bit more. So another thing, like I was talking about earlier, you have different signs and different placements, and that dictates different parts of your life.
Mhm.
And each planet rules like a different aspect of your life as well. Um, so we can take me for example, and I want to see how accurate you guys think this is. So basically, my rising sign is a Libra, and your rising or ascending sign is what you present to other people. Um, so do you guys think that I'm a decently compromising or willing to compromise and be malleable, should I say, and courteous, but also passive aggressive? What's your opinion
Mm.
on that?
I feel like a lot of these two you have to really know the person. I would say it's mostly true, but I haven't experienced passive aggressiveness necessarily. So I don't know how much of that, but the other stuff is like, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I don't think
yeah.
I've ever really
Definitely.
been passive aggressive to you guys. Maybe Josh a little bit, but
Yeah, she's tried to kick my ass. She freaking slung me on a damn chair for calling her fucking stinky.
That's not passive though. That's just straight up aggression.
Yeah, that's
so on that next topic though, you also have a moon sign. So your moon sign is most likely what you personally would identify most with. Kind of like who you are when you're by yourself, basically. Um, and I'm an Aquarius moon, so that describes me.
How do you figure
What?
your moon sign out?
You have to know your exact time of birth. So basically, though, your ascending sign changes every 2 hours. So as long as you get the at least a time frame of when you were born, you can get your entire natal chart.
Ooh, I
Okay.
can tell you a time for 12 in the morning to the end of the day. That 24-hour period.
If I give you my like exact time of birth, are you able to do mine real quick?
I would have to look it up because I'm not that talented that I
Sure.
know, but
How
I
long will
probably
this
could.
looking
Hold
up?
up.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
It's 1:17 in the morning, and while you look that up, um, so Casey, has any of this information that we've learned tonight so far about horoscopes changed your outlook on them?
um not really, because I was never like a non-believer, because I definitely resonate with my sign a lot, and I like to read my horoscope and stuff like that. Um Rachel's taught me a few things though, that I would probably like want to look more into. And I don't know if you guys know the app CoStar. They give you like a daily like little horoscope, and then a weekly and a monthly. And I started to get so mad at CoStar because they were like straight up attacking me. Like a month straight, every single one I would get was just attacking me and making me feel sad. So I deleted it because it would be like, you have no friends, but try not to be angry about it. And I'd be like, please, just just be nice. So I deleted it, but I might just have to re-download it and do more like research because I was getting frustrated with it.
How accurate would you say the co-star scopes you gotten were?
Accurate.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was pretty accurate. I don't know about all of the daily ones because the daily ones were pretty general. They were never like super duper specific, but I would look at like my monthly outlook, and then like at the end of the month, I would like look back at it and be like, "Oh, yeah, some of that stuff actually did happen. This was a really horrible month. They were right." Or like, "Oh, this was a really great week. They were right, they were wrong." I would say it's pretty accurate, and I like CoStar until they started being mean to me. Um so
Rachel, do you have it prepared?
Birth year.
Oh, do I
Oh
care this much?
shit.
Wait,
Here,
Oh
how about this?
shit.
How
I
about
know
this?
what it
Instead,
is.
I'll just share with
95.
you.
God damn, you're
Okay.
ancient, dog.
I could have literally told you that because you're the same age as my brother.
True.
I knew.
Also, what's your birthplace?
My birthplace. What's that mean?
Yes.
Like
Where were you born? Like
Williams, like
Williamsburg, Virginia?
What's your address?
Damn, man. You're gonna put
What's your
that on the
social
internet?
security number?
Yeah, do you want my like my social digits? You want the last 3 digits on my credit card number? Like, geez.
Be preferable, but
Do you want my firstborn, secondborn? Like, do you need blood?
yes.
Williamsburg.
Okay, cool, thanks. But also what I was saying though too is like I'm an Aquarius moon. So that means that I am generally a sorry, I got distracted. Like observant and intuitive and a detached, like emotionally detached person, which I find to be decently accurate. Um, but yeah, I'm also a Taurus, fun fact, which is an earth sign.
You're a tortoise? Like the
A
turtle?
Taurus.
Oh, Taurus. So you're a tourist from where? You from like Jamaica coming to visit Williamsburg?
Actually.
Really? I
Mhm.
didn't know that. Were you actually from Jamaica?
No. I'm very,
Why you're
very,
a
very
liar, dude. I
white.
can't trust you, bruh.
Has
Isn't
any
coming up person.
of the information we learned tonight, Josh, changed your outlook on horoscopes? You want to look more into it, or nah?
It would definitely be like I've always been open to new things. If it was presented to me, hey, let's check this out. I would definitely look into it more. But I'm still not 100% sold because, like you were saying at the beginning, like it's just so broad. Like I'm kind, like everybody in a way is kind. Like everyone has this kind part, and unless they're just a straight asshole, but that's not many people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just too general for me to say, oh yeah, this is exactly 100%. I definitely cannot do that, but I mean, I would definitely be willing to learn more and see where it goes from there.
I would say start by getting co-star, like just to kind of give you a understanding and maybe like some of the stuff you'll read and as you like figure out how to understand it.
But
Um,
why would I trust an app that's don't have
well,
any friends? I
well,
don't need that in my life. I don't need
it
negativity.
didn't. Okay, it didn't actually like say straight up like you don't have friends. It wasn't like mean like that, but you do. I mean, it. You put in your information and it gives you your natal chart. Like it's not just like those Instagram pages where it's like, oh, if you're an Aquarius, you're probably a person and you have feelings. And then people are like, "Oh my gosh, me." Like no, it's like it's real stuff with your real sign and natal chart and all that. So if you do
Okay.
actually want to like that's an easy way to do it.
So I've got a little bit more on Brody. Not too much more, but a little bit
Oh
more.
shit! Oh shit!
So
Let's hear
your
it.
moon is in Cancer.
Uh-oh.
So,
Did you get
I have
um,
cancer?
cancer. You're gonna have cancer when you grow up.
Yikes! Go ahead.
no, don't worry about that. Well, Cancer is rates are rising, but anyways,
Mm-hmm.
you're most likely, a likable and sociable person. However, rather than how Josh and I can be, you're not very emotionally attached, and you probably, cling on to things of the past quite a lot to the point where it can affect you a little bit too much sometimes, or you just over process them to the point where it just keeps hurting you over and over again. You're also a very habitual person. You like your habits, you like your comfort of your house and routine. Um, and you might be a little bit sensitive.
Birdie, if you wanted to live with me, you could have just told me. You don't have to keep thinking about it and letting it bring you down. I told
Did
you
you
I
not
would
hear
live
what she
with you,
said?
bro.
I like the comfort of my own home.
Yes, and look, your home is where your heart is, and I can tell your heart is with me, Brody.
You won't see me shed any tears. Well, I mean, that
Oh, tell me
one's
that wasn't.
I liked. I think the other one is more accurate, but that one was like still overall pretty good. Like I would say, yeah, I see a lot into that. That was pretty accurate, but not as even though the other one was a little short. That one was like 10 out of 10. This one's probably like 7.5, 8 out of 10, but still very interesting. Very interesting. Um, do you think? Because I guess Casey and Rachel have looked more into horoscopes than myself or Josh have. Do you feel like whenever you read them or look at them, they like control your perception and outlook on a lot of things? Do you like put so much faith into them where you're like worried about it or try and like change how you act about what they say or anything like that, Casey?
Um, no, because I usually like if I read, something about an upcoming month or like an upcoming week, I'll be like, okay, like, good to know. And then you just kind of go on. Like nothing's really controllable, I think. I'm a strong believer that things happen for a reason. So I'm not going to like go out of my way to be like, "Oh, my s- my horoscope says it's going to be a really bad month. I have to make sure to do everything that'll make me happy." Like I'm not going to do that. If my horoscope's right, my horoscope's right. Sometimes it's really really wrong. So yeah, I mean, like I liked what Rachel said. She was like, take the things that resonate, leave the things that don't. Because I don't really think you can try to manipulate it or change it or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely with Casey on that. Like, it's fun little bit of knowledge. And sometimes it's good to know like different aspects about yourself. Like there are a lot of things that are like my negative parts of my natal chart where I'm like, yeah. Um, but as far as like day-to-day horoscopes go, you know, sometimes the general themes will be accurate, but like they can't predict specific instances. So like what Casey was saying and what I said earlier, kind of just takes what resonates with you.
Yeah, what I learned tonight, I mean, it seems pretty accurate, but it's also like I feel like I don't want to know. And I'm better off like I guess if other people want to look into more about me, it's fine. But it's like I'm it's kind of freaky, and you're dealing with weird stuff that doesn't make sense to me, and I'd just rather not know and just live. And if it's accurate, it's accurate, but I don't want to know. Josh, any lasting thoughts on horoscopes?
No.
Cool. Um, well, is there anyone there's here in the chat? If you guys have any questions or comments, any horoscope related
Concerning.
info you want us to discuss or look up by chance or anything, let us know. Um, other than that, that's pretty much our show tonight, guys. Again, we talked about dreams, personal dream experiences, our nightmare experiences. Do we kind of like wish we could go into other people's dreams? Can we trick our minds into dreaming? Some favorite dream topics, a whole bunch of topics. And then we delved into horoscopes. We gave it a look at our own and see how accurate they are, as well as some other signs. So if you guys miss any of the podcast tonight, please, 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 we do have a YouTube channel just launched. So if you go to the Family Bathroom on YouTube, you can find the VODs from the last two episodes. This VOD should be up sometime tomorrow. So if you missed anything from tonight and want to go back and hear a particular topic, you may do so tomorrow. I would first like to thank Rachel for joining us tonight. It was great having you on. Very insightful with the horoscopes, and I always love hearing your dream stories. They're great every
They're
time.
crazy.
Um, so again, I hope you enjoyed your time here.
I did. Thank you.
Cool, and hopefully we can bring you back on in the future. Again, our usual hosts, Casey and Josh. Thank you for being here as well.
Thank you, Birdie.
You're welcome. Um, this is your, platform, Rachel. If there's anything you want to shout out, give recognition to, anything you want to say, now's your time. You have a SoundCloud to promote, anything.
Oh yeah. Well, if you want to follow me on Spotify, I got some pretty good beats. They're not mine, but I have some cool playlists. But it's just RACOBLENTZ. Nothing fancy though, so you don't have to follow it if you don't want to. That's it.
Now you tell them they
Ooh.
have to follow.
I'll follow you.
Follow
All right,
me.
guys. I really like to thank my mommy and my daddy for really making me the person that I am.
Oh.
And I'd like to shout out to my little brothers. I made him watch our podcast on YouTube, and he's probably watching them. But I really like to say I love all of y'all, all my fans, all of my family. I love you guys.
Very nice. Casey, any shout outs tonight?
Shout out to
No.
Joshua's hoodie.
Oh yeah, I did get that hoodie. It's in my hamper though, so
At least
it's a
And
good
guys,
hoodie. It's a good hoodie.
At least
We have 2 merch stores open. It can be found in the description on my Twitch channel as well as Josh's Twitch channel. Again, the link is streamlabs.com/broku_ or crazystill/merch. You can get shirts like this. There's a pillow in his background. Again, the athletic shorts I showed before, hoodies, pillows, you name it. We have a bunch of stuff on there. Stuff's pretty comfy, not gonna lie. It's, for quality you'd find that, it's actually better than what you generally find like, your Walmart stuff, or it's comparable to that, if not better. Personally, I think it's better. And price is comparable too. You're not paying like $60, $70. Like on some of the, I guess they're bigger brands. So if you're buying like FaZe Clan or 100 Thieves or like big name brand stuff, you're going to spend like $80, $100 on like a hoodie, 60 plus. Ours is pretty cheap in comparison. So if you guys want anything nice, feel free to help us out in that. We always appreciate it. And again, we'll be live next week with a new guest and a new topic here on the Family Bathroom. Again, that is Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock sharp, Eastern Standard Time. And from our bathroom to yours, I hope you all have a great night.
bye.